They say great things never come from comfort zones. True that, isn't it? Hi, good morning, and welcome to SSB Crack Exams. I'm Muskan Barsain, and today we are going to talk about such personalities of India who have marked the history with their success, and their journey is inspiring the whole world today. So, we are going to talk about all the Prime Ministers of India who have served India till date. So, moving ahead and talking about us, you all know about SSB Crack Exams. We are the one stop solution for all the defense aspirants, where you will get all the courses related to the defense exams like NDA, CDS, TA, and FCAT. And for more details, you can always visit our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com, and you can also follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest defense related updates. So I have basically divided this session into two parts. So let us start with the first part of the list of Prime Ministers of India. So in the scheme of parliamentary system of government provided by the Constitution of India, there will be a president and there will be a prime minister. So basically, if I talk about the head of the state, then your president is the head of the state. But when I talk about the head of the government, then at that time your prime minister is the head of the government. So there are two articles in the Indian Constitution that deal with your prime ministers of India. This is your Article 74 of the Indian Constitution, and the second article is, as you can see here, is Article 75. So if I talk about Article 74 of the Indian Constitution, it talks about the Council of Ministers. So it says that there shall be a Council of Ministers along with the Prime Ministers, and the collective function of your Prime Minister and your Council of Minister would be to aid and advise your President. But if I talk about your Article 75, then your Article 75 talks about the appointment of your Prime Minister. It says that your Prime Minister will be appointed by the President of India. So next is, there is this very important point that I really need to tell you people about, that to be a prime minister, a person need not to be an MP. So we can say it is not compulsory, but this person will be given 6 months, and within 6 months of his appointment, he has to become a member of any of the houses of parliament. So we have Lok Sabha is there and your Rajya Sabha is there. So he has to become a member of any of the two houses of the parliament. If he fails to do so, his appointment will be automatically cancelled. And if I talk about the tenure of your prime minister, then the tenure is basically not fixed, because he occupies his post during the pleasure of the president. And basically he cannot be removed till he is having the majority in his house. All right. But in case if the prime minister dies and there is no successor, in that case, president can appoint a suitable person. All right. But there is this another case. If the winning party is already having a candidate, in that case your president has no choice. So let us start this list with the first and the longest serving Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji. He was from INC, Indian National Congress, and his serving period was from 1947 to 1964. And in the year 1952, under his leadership, Congress won an overwhelming majority. So next in the list, we have Gulzari Lal Nandaji, and there is this debate. At some places, you see that total 15 prime ministers have served India till date, but at some places you see that total 14 prime ministers have served India till date. So this is because Gulzari Lal Nandaji was the interim Prime Minister of India, which means interim Prime Minister basically is a Prime Minister who is serving for a very short period of time. So basically Gulzari Lal Nandaji has served for 13 days and for two terms. All right. So his first term was after the death of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru ji in the year 1964, and his second term was after the death of Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri ji in the year 1966. So basically he was the interim Prime Minister of India twice for 13 days each. All right. And he also belonged to Indian National Congress, and his serving period was from 27th May 1964 to 9th June 1964. And both his term ended when the ruling Indian National Congress party elected a new prime minister, and later on he was honored with the highest civilian award of India, that is Bharat Ratna, in the year 1997. Next in the list, we have Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. His serving period was from 9th June 1964 to 11th January 1966. He was again from the Indian National Congress and he was a significant figure in the Indian freedom struggle. And he joined this movement in 1920s. He also led the country during the Indo-Pakistan War of 1965 and his very famous slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan became very popular during this war. Then next we have this second term of Gulzari Lal Nandaji and his second term was from 11th January 1966 to 24th January 1966. That is again for the 13 days. So now we are going to talk about the first term of Indira Gandhi ji as the Prime Minister of India. She was from Indian National Congress and her tenure was from 24 January 1966 to 24th March 1977. And we all know that she was the daughter of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the first Prime Minister as well as the longest Prime Minister of India. And apart from that, she has also got many honorary doctoral degrees by different universities. And there is this very important and interesting thing about her that in her early childhood, she founded the Bal Charkha Sangh and the Vanar Sena. Basically, these two groups were of children and to help the Congress party during the non-corporation movement. And she was the second longest serving Indian Prime Minister after her father Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji. And due to her tough decision-making skills, she is also known as the Iron Lady of India. Next, we have Morarji Desai ji in our list. He was from Janata Party and he was basically the first Indian Prime Minister who did not belong to the Indian National Congress. So, this makes him very important. And his serving period, his tenure was from 24th March 1977 to 28 July 1979. He was also an Indian independence activist and he was also the Prime Minister of India from 1977 to 1979. And there is this very interesting fact about him that he is the only Indian to receive the highest civilian awards from both India and Pakistan. So, the Bharat Ratna is the highest civilian award of India, and your Nishane Pakistan is the highest civilian award of Pakistan. So, he has got both these awards. And he is also the oldest person to hold the office at the age of 84, and this happened for the very first time in the history of Indian politics. Then we have Chaudhry Charan Singh ji in the list. He was from Janata Party and his serving period was from 28 July 1979 to 14 January 1980, and he entered politics as part of the Indian independence movement, and historians and people call him as champion of India's peasants. So now we are going to talk about the second term of Indira Gandhi ji as Prime Minister. So in 1980, she returned to power after elections and things basically changed after she ordered a military action in the Golden Temple in Operation Blue Star. Later on, due to this, she was assassinated by her own bodyguards and Sikh nationalists on 31st October 1984. So, with this, we are basically done with the first part of the Prime Ministers of India. The second part of this video shall come soon. So, I just want to tell you that keep working hard towards your goal and keep pushing yourself because no one else is going to do that for you. As they say, don't limit your challenges but challenge your limits. So, with this, thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.